the arc. Angles left side, flips the pass. Back to Dessou. Open for three. It's good! Dylan Dessou drains the three. The Longhorns make good use of the timeout, and they've now gone on a 14-0 run to lead by 14. We welcome you back here to Longhorn Weekly as we continue from Pluckers, the West Campus location here in Austin. How about a nice round of applause for Longhorns assistant coach and director of basketball health and performance, Corey Schlesinger, is with us. Thank you for coming out here tonight. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Tell everybody what exactly is the best way to describe what a strength coach does?
Oh, man. I mean, the ultimate goal is to optimize physical development so that they can be the best version of themselves on the court. And there's multiple ways we do that. Like, there's the mental side, obviously. We're trying to get guys tough and resilient. And then, of course, there's the physical side that allows them to express themselves and their skill set that allows them to have success on the court.
Well, one thing that went through the process when you joined Coach Terry's staff, what was going through your mind? Of course, for folks who didn't know, of course, you were with the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
And when you were approached about this, what were the things that you thought about the direction for your life and your career on this?
I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, Texas's brand is unbelievable, first and foremost. And then this is professional basketball. It's just done at a different level. So for me, it was a continuation. But at the same time, the thing that I want to do more than anything is help develop young men. And having prior college experience is fantastic. And then spending that time in the NBA meant a lot. But taking what I learned from the NBA and seeing how the best of the best do it and how they do it day in and day out, bringing that back to the college and seeing how I can help guys not only be better men, but help produce pros.
What got you interested in this business, in being a strength coach? How did tell us some of your biography? How does that a guy choose to get involved with this and to do what you've done?
For sure, yeah. So I played college basketball. Now, don't go look at my stats. It was the lowest level of college basketball, but that was the area that I was lacking. I was very tiny. I was 148 pounds as a freshman in college, and by the time I left, I was about 196. So for me, it changed in how I was able to compete on the court, and I was obsessed with the human body. I mean, I was going to go down the physical therapist route, but it's just too boring of a setting. And then being able to take great athletes and help make them better, it's just a no-brainer.
Is it Berea College?
Berea College.
In Berea, Kentucky there. Yeah. So on the side, you were doing things on the side really that kind of spiked your interest and piqued your interest in getting involved in this business?
Oh, for sure. So internships at a very, very young age. I mean, I was 18 years old when I was playing at Berea, and then my first experience was at Wake Forest University. So I was 18 years old, Wake Forest University, men's basketball. And the next 2 years after that, spent summers at Carolina with the men's basketball team. And so I got to experience high-level college basketball, not as a player, but helping on the side as a strength coach. And so by the time I even graduated, I had great experience.
You also worked at Campbell University, correct?
Yeah, that was my graduate assistantship. So.
Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Quiet little place, isn't it?
Quite quiet.
You also worked at Santa Clara.
Yep.
And spent some time at the U.S. Olympic Training Center, and for you soccer enthusiasts, with the San Jose Earthquakes as well, right?
So I was a nutritionist, actually, for the San Jose Earthquakes. So that was pretty I got to dabble in a lot of different areas that all involve human performance.
And so because you got a chance to really experience a wide array of that, what was it about the strength part of it that appealed to you the most out of that? Because you got to do a lot of different things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, who doesn't want muscles, right? So for me, I mean, it was a way of selfishly getting my free gym membership for the rest of my life.
Okay, all right, yeah, absolutely. All right. For folks who don't know, obviously with your time with the Phoenix Suns, you got a chance to work with Kevin Durant.
Absolutely.
And I know that Rodney talked about how highly recommended you came from KD when he talked to him. But how was he to deal with, and what was your relationship like with Kevin when you worked with him?
It was actually quite surprising. I had zero expectations going into it because I didn't actually think I would be his guy. You know, usually someone of that caliber, they have their own team around them. And then I was very fortunate. Day one, he walks in, knew my name, asked what we're doing, and I said, all right, here we go. And so it was quite fascinating. We developed a quick relationship a professional relationship that led to more of a personal one, because we both have the idea of being the best at what we do. And I've never seen such a dedicated individual in their craft, and luckily he saw the same in me.
How do you also work your craft and your job with an individual as opposed to the collective when you're working with a team? Discuss the differences on that a little bit.
For sure. I mean, everybody needs, bigger, faster, stronger. But everyone is very, very different. Just like our thumbprint, everyone has a different movement signature. Everyone has a different physiology. So as much as we all do very general things, bigger, stronger, faster, everyone has a more optimal way of doing it. And that is my job, is to optimize how each individual will get to that goal.
Now, are there guys who are vastly different in how you have to approach what you need them to do for them to reach their optimal goal? And how do you balance all of that?
Absolutely. I mean, it comes down to structure types. You got certain guys that are really long and lean, and then you got certain guys like myself that are more short and compact. Guys that are short and compact love lifting weights. There's a reason, because we're good at it. The longer, leaner guys, they need something very, very special. And you got to operate with a scalpel with those individuals, because the one thing we don't want to do is compromise their ability to get better at the sport of basketball. And I think that's where a lot of strength coaches make a lot of failures. They just try to use traditional means and get them, quote-unquote, bigger, faster, stronger, but then they lose their ability to move. They lose their ability to express themselves in ways that make them unique. And when I found my time in the NBA, I found a lot of guys that didn't back squat heavy. Found a lot of guys that didn't deadlift heavy. There's a reason why. They are the best and the best at what they do. So I took a lot of that observations and experience and brought it to Texas.
In watching you work in workouts, here in town, or say in pregame warm-ups, or say if we're on the road night before game practice, the things that you have to go through, what I see is a lot of flexibility. I see a lot of range things going on to keep guys loose. Are there certain tenets that are because I've seen a lot of different things from a lot of different strength coaches, a lot of different sports, basketball, baseball, football, whatever, and there are different things that apply to different athletes, clearly. But how do you find the best in that kind of situation, one size fits all, while keeping it individualized for what each individual guy needs in terms of loosening up for their next opponent, their next game, their next outing?
Yeah, I mean, everyone still adapts differently no matter what vessel they're being exposed to. But for me, it's more of how can we get them to learn how to move better. So we go through this ideology called motor learning strategies. And for them, that's where you see the water balls and you see the perturbations. And these things make them learn under load with themselves. So, for example, the water ball will shake you. Then you have to self-organize underneath it. And that is creating athleticism through long range. And don't get me wrong, we can still get guys bigger, faster, stronger, but the real key ingredient, we can work on the hardware all day, but if that software isn't updating with it, so that's really probably the easiest and simplest way to put it to the answer. We're constantly updating software.
So is there also a lot of give and take amongst strength coaches, and how active are you in conversations with other ones about trying to build the better mousetrap?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, strength coaches love talking about what they do, right? But the reality is, in the terms of physics, we all do the same thing. We do progressive overload. We find the best ways to load our guys to get them to be the biggest, fastest, strongest version of themselves. It's just there's multiple ways to getting it done. Some find more optimal ways than others.
That might be the best stuff, but the best stuff in your life is sitting right over here, right?
Absolutely.
For wife and baby there, so I know you're excited about that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the NBA schedule versus the college schedule, I get to go home a lot more nights, so.
That's a good thing. Corey, thanks for dropping by.
Absolutely.
Corey Schlesinger, Longhorns assistant coach for strength and performance. We'll get to some questions for Coach Terry coming up when we continue on the Longhorn Network and the Longhorn Radio Network from Lear.